Hi, it's me, Brody McLeod, again. Hope all you misfits and troublemakers are having a good Tuesday. I've had a bit of a lie-in today. I woke up about 1:30 a.m. and then I was awake till about 3, and then I went back to sleep about half 3. I didn't take any meds because the nurse is on, who always refuses to give me lorazepam in the middle of the night. So I just had some peanut butter on toast and then went back to sleep and woke up again about 5:30, started drinking coffee. So fell to sleep after the morning meeting at 10 and woke up at about 1:45 to have some vegetarian lasagna, which had some weird little bits of texturised wheat protein in or something. It was pretty rank, to be honest with you. Supposed to be nice with like pulses and legumes and grains. It's meant to be like lentil and chickpea lasagna or something on the vegetarian option. Anyway, I've tried to offer a disambiguation about any delusional or inaccurate or defamatory, libelous, slanderous statements I might have made about my sister Lily, who I don't speak to anymore, my estranged sister. I do still believe she's my sister because I remember meeting her, and there's a disconnect between things I was suspicious about and things which I remember, There was this time when we met when I was about 16. I got a phone number off my father, Diorson McLeod, and I used to run club nights, bundled with bus tickets, with a girl called Nadia from Exeter, who's a good friend of mine. And I used to help selling the tickets. So we would book the coach from Wood Brothers Coaches in Buckfastleigh, and we'd get a coach to go through the South Hams, so Totnes, Newton Abbot, sort of Plymouth, sometimes Exeter, always, sometimes Plymouth. And what we would do, we'd buy tickets to big nights like Global Gathering, One Nation, stuff like that, big drum and bass nights, Valve sound system, that sort of thing. And then we would bundle the ticket to the wicked night that's really far away that we can't really get to in Devon, and we're not really catered. There wasn't that many good drum and bass club nights available on in Devon. I mean, there was there was things that there were good nights on. There were loads of good nights. But anyway, we used to run these coaches together. I used to help sell the tickets, and we got a Wood Brothers coach on the night of my 16th birthday. I wanted to go out and celebrate, and Lily was joining us. We both got on this coach with my friend Nadia and about 50 other people, 40 other people. The whole coach was packed. They used to kind of turn a blind eye. We all used to smoke spliffs and what have you on the bus, and get up to all sorts of hijinks, and it was just a really fun kind of liberal atmosphere. And yeah, I did about sort of 10 or 15 of these different coach journeys to different club nights. And I feel really bad actually. My mum and her boyfriend at the time, on the night we were going to celebrate my 16th birthday, I don't recall that it was like on the night of my 16th birthday, but I remember the club we went to. We went to the Coronet for a drum and bass night, and my mum and her boyfriend had decided that they were going to go out for dinner on the night that I said I was going to go to this, going to get picked up on this bus and get really high and kind of go and party with my newly found sister Lily. And my little brother Connor is 8 years younger than me, so he, when I was 16, would have been 8 years old, and he desperately wanted to come and join us. That sounds a bit ridiculous, but he was like, "Why can't I come to your party, Brody?" And I said, "It's a nightclub, Connor. You won't get in. You got no chance." Like, but I was really frustrated that they wouldn't let me. They said I had to look after my little bro because they were going out for dinner. My parents, this was, well, my stepdad and my mum, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "I've told you a week ago that I was going out on this night, and I've given you all the forewarning that I could, but there was just no kind of budging them. They just were like, nope, you got themselves done up to the nines, drove off in their car, I was really fucked off. I was ringing them and ringing them and ringing them, being like, I'm going on to this night. Like, I'm not going to stay here and do this. Like, get my brother-in-law or my mum's boyfriend's son to babysit instead. You know, I was like, he's got nothing. He's not doing anything tonight. I've got a big plans for tonight, and I'm going to go. So I kind of, and I thought I got to about 6 or 7 o'clock, and I kind of boisterously, playfully, in a kind of without really thinking, put my brother into a wardrobe, a bamboo wardrobe at the top of the stairs, and tied something around the handles. Said, right, that's it. You can stay here safe, and I'm going to go off and catch my bus. And I texted my mum to say what had happened. Anyway, I got on this bus, and one thing led to another, and by the time I got to London, the coronet, I was gurning quite hard, and yeah, like I suddenly, and we were in the queue, and I remember it really vividly. We were stood in the queue for this night at the coronet, and about 4 or 5 hours had passed, and I was like, oh my God, Connor's still in the fucking wardrobe. Like, I checked my phone, and I just assumed that like at 6:30, 7 o'clock, they'd been out for about 3 hours. I assumed they were just going to have some dinner, and they would have been back in like 20 minutes. And when I said, I texted out a protest that I was leaving and that I wasn't going to comply, they sort of like would have just come back to look after my little brother. But they didn't. And this will be verifiable. It was all a bit of a terrible scene, actually. So he was kind of struggling and shouting, I think started to asphyxiate, and social services ended up getting involved. The next door neighbours called the police, and they got him out of this wardrobe, and you know, tried to give him, I think put him on an oxygen mask or something, and he found the whole thing really traumatic. He was in there for ages, and like, it was an awful fuck up on my part. You know, I was only very young, but I just thought my parents would be back soon, and I was just out of protest. I wasn't going to miss. This was like a night where everyone was going to celebrate my birthday, turning 16, sort of, you know. So it was a big birthday for me, and there was no way that that they just planned to go out. Just seemed like they were trying to sort of like cock block me from having fun. And I got into, and in the queue, I rang my mum and said, Mum, I've been texting you, you know, to say that Connor, I stuck him in a wardrobe and tied it up, and yeah, so it was a really bad scene. The police got involved, social services were informed, because obviously he was only 8 years old. The thing is, when I speak to Connor about this, he just vehemently denies any memory of the entire thing, and it makes me wonder, because I have had other things which are delusional, you know, in terms of my belief patterns, and you know, I don't want to kind of, you know, Lily has successfully stayed off drugs and alcohol, but she openly admits to having, you know, used them in throughout her life, as have I. But yeah, like, there's this kind of disconnect. Connor, it's a thing which kind of connects the two of them together, in a way, because he, if you ask him about this incident, will say, no, that never, ever, ever happened. You never left me in a wardrobe. Anyway, in 2014, Vogue started this series called Inside the Wardrobe, and the first episode was the editors of Vogue magazine saying what they wear and what their fashion kind of sense is about. And Lily was episode 2. Now, I mean, to a schizoaffective person, that almost kind of makes me think that it was like some sort of subterfuge. I don't think that, but it kind of, like, in my brain, it makes me think, did they literally just sort of create this? My mum was in hospital, and they started it in June 2014. My mum was, she passed away. She was like 4 weeks before she died, and it aired in June 2014. just completely irrelevant, unconnected to incidents. But yeah, so there was this, there was this horrible incident. But if you ask Connor, my brother, about it, he just gives a very passionate, vehement, and well-structured rebuttal about how it never happened. I never left him in a wardrobe. Social services never got involved. And I guess if you wanted to, if you're of that persuasion, you could probably check with the Department of Health and Social Care, the police force, the NHS, the local county council records from whatever year it would have been. If I'm 39 now, what year would it have been when I was 16?
If you are 39 now, you would have been 16 in the year 2002.
Yeah. So
this is calculated
in 2002, and I'm like 98% certain that this happened. I remember it very well because it was so harrowing. You know, it was like I got in a lot of trouble with my parents, and the kind of cock block of not being able to go to my own 16th birthday party because my parents had and like they never went out for dinner. Do you know what I mean? They used to go out. They used once in a blue moon. It was like, you know, they'd like made this big effort to make it so that I couldn't go to this event. You know, I'm not going to name all of my friends from Exeter and Buckfast Lee that were on the bus with me, because that's not what this video is about. But yeah, I just remembered I was in the queue and I just suddenly had this like, oh my God, fuck. I've left Connor locked in a fucking wardrobe. But if you ask him, he'll tell you it's a delusion. So I don't know. I don't think Vogue magazine would, you know, intentionally try to publish some campaign of subterfuge. But for my paranoid brain, the fact that it was episode 2 of the series, it was like they did episode 1 and they did episode 2 really quickly. Like she was first in line to have this, to be featured on this series. They did about 16 episodes or something with various different celebrities, and it was totally coincidence, probably. But my brother, he doesn't agree with this core memory. And it's like, probably he doesn't believe that Lily's my sister either, or that I've ever met her, or that we have ever spent any time together. And I don't know what she would say. I think she obviously just doesn't want to talk to me or have any sort of relationship, and that's fine. She's entitled to protect her own peace and live her own life. You know, we only got to know each other for a few months before I had a massive neurological trauma and forgot who I was. Like I think I was spiked with a bottle of liquid acid, or I ended up going to a memory clinic for like 2-3 weeks when I was living in my flat in Exeter. Very shortly after that, my best friend Jessie Tanzer passed away from a heroin overdose, and we were straight. We were like about as close as two teenage boys could have been. We had been thick as thieves since we were like 13, 14, 15. And we'd lived together at various different places. We did live together at the flat in Exeter, where Lily came around many times. I think the last time was something to do with her coat. She'd left a coat there, and she dropped me around a copy of the album of some singing that she'd been doing, which didn't release till, wasn't put out on Parlophone Records till way after then. But yeah, I left my brother inside the wardrobe when I was with Lily on my 16th birthday, and she's featured in Vogue in this episode, of which they made her number 2, the kind of the first celebrity other than the editors who was featured was Lily, and it was called Inside the Wardrobe. You can check it out for, in fact I might just include it in this video. How long is it? 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's have a look.
How to learn anything with AI. Watch this.
So this is how I became the most
I love it. Come and see my clothes.
Oh my God, look at the rails. Am I going to freak out?
Here's my wardrobe.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's just like sort of high and low.
I love the mix. Oh my God, I love that.
That's really good though.
That's really good. Oh, that's great, that biker. Ha-ha.
I like vintage stuff that's really identifiable as well because it's a really great conversation starter.
That's so good. That's so good. What do you wear underneath that?
Nothing.
Well, just a bra?
No.
Just tits? Nipples? Yeah. Okay. You can see from your wardrobe that there's so much references and sort of filtering music, punk, hip hop, street, prom. It's all like seek glamour, glam rock. It's so rich.
Well, I think there's like a time and a place for everything really, and I like to wear the wrong things in the wrong places. I get a lot of stuff in stripper shops actually, and I imagine it's to put dollar bills in.
Light bulb, Chanel shoes, so good.
Do you remember when Solange Knowles whacked Jay-Z around the head in the elevator with that bag?
That is so brilliant. It's really heavy and it's really sharp. This is Chanel, right?
This is Chanel cashmere dress.
I mean, you can see Coco in that, right? I mean, that is just the best. I have no words. That is perfect. Norman Kamali from the 70s. That's almost my favourite. I love the way you subvert it. You know, like holding up the kind of classic sort of preppy, conservative piece against green hair. And it's that thing of playing with stuff, which is part of the joy. And in a way, it's sort of like such an antidote. And it can make the way some people approach clothes and wear clothes look so humorless.
Clothes should be a conversation point. Yeah, if you're going to spend so much money on this stuff, people might as well talk about it. Getting dressed for me is really not a thought-about process.
No.
And I can't put my finger on what it is. It's just like there's an occasion and I know that I want to wear something that's just like a little bit like, I don't know. So yeah, that's me. Sorry.
Sheer or leather?
Taking into account how much my weight fluctuates, I'm going to go leather.
Shopping with friends or alone?
Alone.
Me too. Dream date?
Vince Vaughn.
Really? Okay. Favourite film?
Dazed and Confused.
Elvis or Keith?
Elvis.
Prom or street?
I've done prom. Street.
Flats or heels?
Flats.
Ultimately, right? Vintage or runway? Can't mix it.
Vintage runway.
Can't mix it.
Yeah, runway stuff, but vintage. Runway in 10 years.
Okay. Okay.
Ta-da.
Oh my God, I love it!
Do you know what?
It's so cute.
It's got pockets.
Don't you love it?
I do, actually.
Have you fallen in love? Norman, come on. Oh my God, with the timber. I love it. Love it. Will you write your style secret for me, please?
Style secret. Can it be like a tip more than a secret?
Whatever you want. Yeah, secret tip.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
You have to guess what it is now.
I really wanted the wardrobe to feel a bit like a jewelry box in the middle of the bedroom. I wanted a long cupboard for floor-length evening dresses. I wanted lots of drawers for my handbags, and I wanted shoe shelves that would fit 6 pairs of shoes.
So yeah. Anyway, that's the video. She was the first person in this series. I lost my memory, which will also be on medical record somewhere. I'm just in the process of applying with Torbay and South Devon NHS Foundation Trust for my medical records, because I don't know about my neurological health, and I'm having injections and oral medication to treat my mental health in this hospital, but I don't know about my neurological health or if there's any contraindications there. And when I did do an SAR with them before, and there was some stuff to do with having electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, which causes memory loss, and also I had an EEG. First of all, they thought I might be like epileptic or autistic or have some sort of progressive neurological disorder. When I was younger, I did an EEG once in the hospital when I was like quite young, about like 12 or 10, and then said I had a lot of irregular brainwave activities. Then I had to wear this backpack EEG, so I had an EEG with these like wires on my head, electroencephalogram, had these wires on my head, and I couldn't shower for 3 days because I had to wear this backpack with this sort of longer home extended electroencephalogram, and they just never came to any formal diagnosis. I had a doctor called Dr. McLeod, Dr. Sainsbury. I remember speaking to the neurologist team at Torbay Hospital and having extensive neurological treatment. And I don't know if that was related to my memory loss when I was 16, but I moved out of Exeter very shortly after that when my mate passed away. I was really, really gutted, and I think everybody knows what bereavement does to you, especially at a young age. So I just left and went to go and stay with friends in Totnes for about 6 months, and eventually went back home to my house with my mum and my mum's boyfriend. This is a 21 minute and 37 second video. But yeah, if you ask Connor, he'll say it never happened. If you ask me, I very distinctly remember planning the bus, going on the bus, having a big argument with a mum and her boyfriend before they said they were going out for dinner to celebrate on the night I was due to celebrate my 16th birthday with all my friends, and putting my brother inside a wardrobe, and that really, and social services getting involved, and my mum like having custody issues where she'd left, one of her young children with another child that was only just an adult, and the responsibility or irresponsibility that kind of inculcated with her. So I'm certain it will be on record with Devon County Councils or the Department of Health and Social Care, the police or the NHS from 2002 for my brother Connor Ryan Jesse McLeod, who was 8 years old at the time. He was born in 94. So I don't think that there's anything necessarily suspicious about the Vogue article, but it's the kind of thing that when you've got kind of memory loss and confusion and paranoia and delusional beliefs, it's really hard to separate the wheat from the chaff. So who knows? I don't know what Connor feels about it, but if you ask him, he'll deny it, and if you ask Lily, she'll probably deny it as well. Maybe she won't, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe look into it, give it a try. Send me a postcard, let me know how you succeed with that. I don't want to kind of, feel like I'm taking the piss or being sort of subtly snide or sarky, about kind of Connor's trauma and, Lily's right to privacy and a private life. And I don't wish either of them obviously any harm. I kind of, I love my brother a lot, and I did sort of love my sister for the time that we met before I kind of lost my memory, and after 5 years had forgotten kind of huge swathes of it. And maybe when I get this SAR from Torbay and South Devon NHS Foundation Trust, it will have my neurology details in there, and I'll find out whether I've got, had early onset dementia or narcotic induced in amnesia, or what it was. I forgot that it had happened until like 2021, and that's when I suddenly remembered that I'd had this memory loss, and I'd spent some time at the memory clinic. But look into it and get back to me, because I don't really know. the ins and outs of what happened or what's going on inside my brain, but somebody probably does. So, ask them. Don't take my word for it.